Hey Internet, what's up? I'm back. Now, Nintendo recently mentioned that they are releasing a bunch of games on mobile devices because apparently making fun games for their consoles isn't good enough. And I think this is a terrible idea, so I'm going to talk about it.
Oh look! A sword.
First of all, you're all familiar with these. Or these. They should not be the same thing. I know this is a terrible example because mine is the same thing. But Nintendo does not belong on a phone. Nintendo belongs on consoles. That's what they've always done, and I know change is necessary, and they always try to be innovative with all their consoles, so it makes sense that they would try something new by going to phones, but they really, really shouldn't. Also, before I start, I'm going to talk about the top 5 best and worst games to be adapted for direct ports to mobile consoles. To mobile devices. Whatever the hell you want to call them. See, I'm already calling it a console because that's what Nintendo does. I know that they've said they're not doing direct ports. I know. That's what I've told a bunch of people, that's what a bunch of other people have said. We all know this. However, the internet is still abuzz with what games they think should be ported to these little fuckers. So, I figured I'd just give my input. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm just saying it because that's what everyone else is saying, and this is what they're talking about, and I'm just trying to be popular. Anywho. Alright, so the first bad game, or number 5, or last, or whatever. The first game that should absolutely not be adapted, Super Mario Brothers. I know everyone thinks, oh, but this is the nostalgia, that's the game I want to play, blah, blah. No, that's a terrible idea. I don't know if you remember the NES, a bunch of you probably don't, because most of you who are all excited about this are way too young to even remember this fucking console. But, this would not work on a phone. There are no saves, there are no checkpoints, you have a very limited amount of lives. This would be shit. Every time you turn the app off, you have to start all over again. So unless you have a lot of time to spend playing one game, I originally had a skit filmed here, but it was bad. I mean, even by my standards, bad. So I could just cut it out. You're welcome. This isn't gonna work. Alternatively, the number 5 best game, Mario Kart. Unlike Mario Bros, this is adapted to really short gameplay. If they were to put this on there, they could very easily do single races, like it already has, which are quick, fun, easy, just something cool to do for a couple minutes. Or you could even do the 4-course cups, which are still short enough to do in a long bowel movement, cigarette break, whatever. And because it's on the phone, and Nintendo did announce that when they do this little thing, they're also going to release a network that connects this to your PC, to your DS, to the new NX console, which that's a whole different rant, and I think they're terrible for announcing that, but all that aside. So this will be connected with everything, meaning that if you were playing this on this, you could actually get all your friends on board, everyone who you have in your contact list, just sync it up, and there you go. When you're all on lunch at work, you can all play together. Get a quick round in, the one person will win, the other 3 people will swear, and you all get fired. It'll be great. Alright, the next worst game is actually Pokemon. I know, everyone loves this, and you'd think it would work for short-term play. Because, you know, battles can sometimes be quick and all that, and I get that. But you're wrong. Because while a regular battle is quick, try explaining to your boss and to HR, which is where you'll end up, why you spent 45 minutes on your smoke break because you had to beat the Elite Four and Gary. Granted, they might be impressed that you beat them, they might want to see what your team was, but then they're going to fire you. Alright, once again for good games, the alternative to Pokemon, Pokemon Stadium. Unlike the actual game, this is pretty much designed for short gameplay. The battles are always small individual events, so you could pound through one pretty quick. It's rife with just all sorts of different mini games and little things like that, which again are perfect for the touchscreen. Some of them could probably even be adapted very well to go with touch controls and work even better than they did on consoles. Also, Once again, because Nintendo's doing the whole sync everything together and enjoy the cloud and whatever happy time that they're doing, you could sync up that Pokemon Bank app, which has all the extra ones that you raised in X and Y and Black and whatever other versions you had, and use them in your party in here. So you don't need any more transfer packs or cables or bullshit like that. You just have access to all your Pokemon that are already stored out somewhere in the Pokemon Stadium adaptation game thing. That would be great. Alright, the next worst one, and it's one near and dear to my heart, but Zelda. Trust me, I, as much as anyone, would love to have this in my pocket to just play on the go, and that's all well and good. However, the thing you forget is that this game was not built for that kind of thing. For example, in this one, if you wanted to save, you first had to die. And when you get later in the game and you've got the good suit and the shield and all the bullshit, it actually takes the enemies a lot of time to hit you just to kill you. That's an extra 30 seconds just to be able to save and turn the app off. That's not going to work for a lot of people. Also, depending on which version they adapt, because obviously they're going to go for one of the popular ones, could you imagine facing Dark Link in the Water Temple, getting all the way that far, just one shot, you sat down on your lunch break, you pounded through the fucking thing, you're fighting Dark Link, and the app crashes. And let's be honest, if you have a smartphone, it's happened to you 1,000 times, apps crash. Even ones that generally work will crash, usually when you don't want them to. So imagine getting that far and then, boom, gone. You'll be pretty pissed. So why not just stick to the consoles? Alright. I know it doesn't coincide with the other game, I was just happy that that worked out for the first two, but Mario Party would be the next one I'd say would be good. Honestly, it's based on mini-games, so that right there is perfect for the touchscreen phone, short little dealies. And they can do something similar to like they do with Trivia Crack or Words with Friends or any of those other games where you could enter around with other players, take your turn, do your deal, wait for them to do theirs. I mean, they'd have to change gameplay a little because you probably wouldn't all four of you be present for the mini-games, so you'd have to find a way to do one-player mini-games, and I don't know how you justify a round, but this could be easily adapted. Also, you could have just single mini-game plays with 3 other people that happen to be on, like a quick finds little deal if you just want to do mini-games. And if they really want to keep people interested, every time they did an update, similar to like a Farmville or something like that, where they're always adding new holidays and new bullshit, you could add a new couple mini-games every month or so when they do updates to the app. That would keep people interested, keep them playing for a long time. This could work. Alright, now this isn't a first-party game, but back in the day, some of the third-party games may have well been first-party. They were all still exclusive, so I'm still going to count it. Besides, it's in Smash Brothers anyway, so fuck you. Mega Man. Mega Man. Specifically Mega Man 3, because that is by far the best one. But this game would never work on mobile. People would probably love it because everyone loves Capcom and everyone loves the old Mega Mans and they want it to make a comeback in 9 and 10 and blah blah blah, but no. First things first, these levels, you had to get all the way through a level and a boss, no saving, no anything, just play it. And this had limited lives. Could you imagine on your phone, if you're playing one of the stupid apps like Candy Crush, you're playing the game and you get to level, whatever the hell level you get to, I don't play the stupid thing, I don't fucking know. But you get to a level and you lose 3 times and the game just resets. There's no saving, you don't get to keep your progress, you don't get to keep any power-ups or items that you had or any stupid shit that you paid for with microtransactions. Nope, you're just back at square one, start all over again. That will never work. So games like this that have limited lives, and most of the old NES games did, no go. Sorry, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, so we're back to the good games, and Animal Crossing. This would be great on a mobile. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this isn't on mobiles already. The gameplay is very simplistic and fun. It's really good for small bursts because you want to get in, you do a few things. Usually some of the stuff is on cooldown or can only happen at certain times, so this will be great for a mobile. Plus, with all the push notifications and the buzzing and sounds and stupid shit that your phone can do, Isabelle can keep you on top of your mayoral duties in no time. Like, your shit will be running smooth. Alright, the last game, and the one that would probably be most terrible for mobiles, is, unfortunately, another one I love, Castlevania. this game would never, ever, ever work. Long levels, hard bosses, limited lives, no saving, nothing on here would work with a mobile. And trust me, like I said, I love this. I would do anything to have Bloody Tears around with me at all times. In fact, it is the ringtone on my phone. But this would just not fit. If you think it will, you're stupid and wrong. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Plus, Konami's busy making, I don't know, fuck all as far as I can tell, but they're not going to go for this. And neither would Nintendo, and neither would anyone, because this would be shit. Alright, and now for my number one game that would not be a disappointment. Harvest Moon. I mean, really, it's the original Farmville. So, you can thank this for all the Facebook and then eventually phone apps that you have played. Not only that, but this is perfectly tuned to be on a phone. You have all sorts of timed events, you would have cooldowns already in there. This has stuff that's based on time of day, day of week, special holidays, time of year, season, etc. This would work perfect for a mobile app. Everything about this should be on there, and if Nintendo were going to adapt any game as a direct port for the mobile, this would have to be it. As a direct port for the mobile, this would have to be it. Also, let me wrap this up with one final thought. If Nintendo does do this, they're going to be walking a very fine, dangerous line. Because these games, the mobile apps, whatever, are going to sync up with your console and DS games. And Nintendo is either going to have to fight the temptation to make those games unlock content in your actual console games, or they're going to have to deal with a lot of backlash. Because all the fans who suddenly want to play their console games and couldn't give a fuck about something stupid on their phone are either going to have to download and play the app, possibly paying for it and any DLC inside of it, to unlock something in the game they already paid for, or they're really going to hate the company that made that and everyone else that did do it. And the one thing Nintendo usually says they try to do is listen to the fans, give us what we want. I know the creators of Super Smash Bros. Are disproving that right now with all their whining and bullshit, but this would be a terrible, terrible move for them. So they have to be really careful with that, regardless of what way they go with these mobile apps. They potentially are going to upset a lot of people. But that's not really my problem. I just play the games. Bye! Also, side note, I posted online and no one replied to it because that would involve reading the thing first, and I know how much the internet hates reading, so I'll just say it in the video. It'll make it really easy for you. For my next video, I was going to review a new game. I have a couple choices. The first being Pier Solar and the Great Architects, or some variation of my pronunciation of that. It's a new RPG for the Sega Genesis. You can see that, it's right here. It's on a 64-bit cartridge, so it's actually the biggest game ever produced for the Sega Genesis. Just came out, was made by a company called Watermelon Team, and if you want to know anything else about it, you're going to have to tell me to review it and play it and all that shit, because I'm not going to give it all away in this video. That's stupid. My second choice, which I also won't tell you a whole lot about unless you actually tell me in the comments down there that you want me to review it, would be Bloodborne. As you can see, it's not in my hand. It's because it didn't come in yet. I don't get it till I think next Tuesday. So there's just a video here of what I imagine the game is probably like. If you want me to play that, or this, or anything else, I mean, Cheetah Men 2 and the Lost Levels for NES sounds like it could be loads of fun. You know, let me know down there. Other than that, I got nothing. See you next time.